Ever feel like some DC characters get left in the shadows of the big names? Like Supergirl and Detective Chimp? They're constantly saving the day but never get their own spotlight. Well, what if I told you they deserve a chance to shine? Today, we're celebrating 10 incredible DC characters who deserve their own spotlight, their own series, and their chance to shine as the main attraction. 10. Roy Harper would be a tremendous solo star. Roy has no inherent superpowers, but is a keen marksman with a variety of weapons, a well-trained fighter, and a great team member. Roy Harper started his superhero career as Speedy, the sidekick to Green Arrow. Roy Harper has been around for 83 years, but fans can count the number of times he had a solo book on one hand. Harper helped found the Teen Titans and was able to overcome drug addiction to become Arsenal. Roy spent years bouncing around various lower-level teams before getting his chance to shine in the Justice League as Red Arrow. Unfortunately, this ended in disaster when his daughter was killed and he lost his arm. Roy relapsed but cleaned himself up just in time for the New 52 reboot. Since then, Roy has been an outlaw with Red Hood, rejoined the Titans during DC Rebirth, and accidentally died in a Speed Force eruption which was chronicled in Heroes in Crisis. Roy was resurrected as a Black Lantern during Infinite Frontier and has since returned to rejoin the Arrow family. Roy has grown into a great character after some rather large missteps, and it would be awesome for him to get a new series that maybe even saw him take back his Red Arrow name. 9. Lois Lane is the true queen of DC. Lois Lane has no superpowers, although Superman has figured out a way to give her powers several times, but is an amazing reporter, which has made her intelligent and observant to an almost preternatural degree. Lois Lane has long been the highest-profile woman in Superman's life, and in many ways is actually more important than even Wonder Woman to the overall hierarchy of the DC multiverse. She has starred in several solo books over the years, most recently a brilliant 12-issue series by Greg Rucka and Mike Perkins. However, that book was a few years ago, and fans could use more Lois Lane right now. Lois has taken more of a co-starring role in Superman's adventures since the return of the pre-Flashpoint Superman in 2016. She's often gone on adventures with her husband and their super son, John, showing that her cunning, quick thinking, and ability to operate under great pressure make her a force to be reckoned with. Lois Lane could easily front an ongoing book, and as long as DC played their cards right, it would sell like hotcakes. 8. Cassie Sandsmark needs the kiss of solo stardom. Cassie Sandsmark first appeared in the mid-90s as DC was introducing a third generation of sidekicks. She helped found Young Justice as Wonder Girl while working with Wonder Woman. Cassie looked like she had a bright future in front of her as a character, but the New 52 changed everything. She was eventually returned to relevance in Brian Michael Bendis' reboot of Young Justice, and has continued to play a role as a member of Wonder Woman's supporting cast. Cassie was an amazing hero throughout the late 90s and early Hudens, but the New 52 completely killed her momentum. Her return in the last few years was much better than what came before, and DC seems to be trying to bring her back to the way she was. A new solo book would do wonders for her, allowing her to get out of the shadow of Wonder Woman and the teen books that often misuse her to become her own character. Cassie's main weapon is the Lasso of Lightning, which allows her to harness lightning, like her father Zeus, and electrocute anyone the rope holds. 7. Leo Quintum to Too Cool to stay outside the mainline DC universe. Leo Quintum has no superpowers but is an extremely intelligent polymath scientist. All-Star Superman is an undisputed masterpiece. Rarely has there been a comic that is both effortlessly perfect in structure and so entertaining. Writer Grant Morrison and artist Frank Quitely paid attention to each character, crafting them brilliantly for their roles in the story and making sure that each of them had moments to shine. All-Star Superman is a love letter to Superman history. So there aren't many new characters, but one of them definitely needs to be given more spotlight, whether in the universe of All-Star Superman or in the main prime DC universe, Leo Quintum. Superman's history is full of super scientists, but few of them have the style and panache of Leo. In fact, most of them just turn evil at some point. That's not Leo Quintum. Leo is a perfect scientific ally to Superman, a person who is actually doing that thing that Lex Luthor says he's doing all the time, helping to make humanity better. DC loves to milk its alternate universes, so weirdly, Quintum has never been brought over, Giving him his own book would be a rollicking good time. 6. Ferris would be great as Star Sapphire. Carol is a regular human, but has been inducted into the Star Sapphires numerous times, giving her the power to control the violet energy of love, allowing her to create energy constructs. Hal Jordan is a legendary Green Lantern, as well as an amazing test pilot. Hal works for Ferris, who inherited her father's aeronautics firm, testing the fighter jets the company builds. Carol has always been an important part of Hal's life. The two of them are on-again, off-again lovers, and Carol has become the villainous Star Sapphire often. During the War of Light, the Star Sapphires became a Lantern's Corps, and Carol helped Hal save the universe. Since then, she's gone back to being an awesome, no-nonsense businesswoman who is both intimidating and endearing. Ferris has co-starred in Green Lantern comics for years, but she has never had her own book. Carol and Hal are oil and water, but one thing they have in common is they will fight for what they believe in. Ferris getting her own book could go in two directions. Just have her as Ferris and do a corporate espionage book, or make her a Star Sapphire again, balancing her day job with being a Star Sapphire. Ferris deserves more spotlight than she's gotten, and a solo book would show everyone why she's so great. 5. Alfred Pennyworth had a life that could launch an amazing solo book. Alfred Pennyworth had quite a life before taking up the family spot as the Wayne family butler. He joined the British military and became a highly trained combat medic before joining an acting troupe. He joined the Wayne household after his father's death and became a father to the young, damaged Bruce Wayne. Alfred became a key mentor for Bruce, helping him in any way he could and doing his best to bring love and normality into his life. Alfred has been a key part of Batman's life, keeping him going even in the most desperate circumstances. Alfred was killed during City of Bane and hasn't been brought back, so it might seem hard to do an Alfred book. However, there are years of potential Alfred stories, ones that take place both before and during his time as Batman's butler. Alfred is a fan-favorite character, and readers want more of the character. The best way to do that without bringing him back to life is to do a book set in Alfred's past. An anthology, where a different creative team comes in for every story and tells their own Alfred tale, would be perfect for the beloved member of the Bat family. 4. Zatanna hasn't had a solo book in ages and deserves one. Zatanna is a gifted magic user, trained by her father Michael Zatara in a variety of magical disciplines. Zatanna's spellcasting involves her speaking backward to cast spells. Zatanna spent years as a guest star in the books of members of the Justice League while she hunted for her father Zatara, who was once a superhero. Zatanna was extremely popular and soon joined the Justice League. Zatanna became the team's premier magic user, her mystical might adding another weapon to the team's repertoire. Since then, Zatanna has been a part of multiple team and solo comics, as well as having her own series a few times in the past. She hasn't had much solo spotlight in the last decade, despite co-starring in several volumes of Justice League Dark. Zatanna's fans don't want to think of her as a supporting character, but that's been the reality of her situation for a while. She was always co-leader of Justice League Dark, with characters like John Constantine and Wonder Woman being the star of the team's books. Zatanna hasn't had a series since before the New 52, and it's about time for her to get another one. Zatanna is a beloved character, and the right creative team could easily make her into DC's Doctor Strange with very little work. 3. Supergirl is right. On the cusp of stardom. Supergirl is a Kryptonian under a yellow sun, giving her vast super strength, invulnerability, super speed, flight, super senses, heat vision, freeze breath, and a variety of other powers. Supergirl has always been a big deal in the DC multiverse. She is the cousin of Superman, which has allowed her to co-star in many of his stories. Supergirl has also had her solo book multiple times as well. Her last miniseries was Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, a blockbuster story by writer Tom King and artist Bilquis Evely that reminded everyone how amazing Supergirl was. Supergirl has also had her own TV series in the last few years and is about to star in her own movie. Supergirl has been guest starring in various Superman books in the last couple of years and deserves some more solo spotlight. She has proven that while she's an awesome side character, she can be better on her own with the right creators. Luckily, DC has a core of writers and artists who can do Supergirl justice. Supergirl is about to become big business for DC again, and she needs to be put in a solo book so everyone can see why she survived for so many decades. 2. Detective Chimp is always the bridesmaid and deserves to be the bride. Detective Chimp has the physical capabilities of a chimp, making him stronger and faster than several fully grown humans put together. Detective Chimp has super intelligence and the power to speak. Detective Chimp has a keen deductive mind and a wide base of knowledge, including knowing a lot about magic. He was also given the Nightmaster's sword and owns the Oblivion Bar, a bar for magic users. Detective Chimp first appeared way back in 1952, which makes him older than DC legends like Barry Allen and Hal Jordan. He was something of a comedy character for children and would work with Batman and several other DC crime fighters over the years. Detective Chimp joined Shadow Pact, a team of magic users, and battled the Spectre in Day of Vengeance. He would have something of a renaissance in the mid-Zeros, but would go away for years until his return in 2018's Justice League Dark, Volume 2. Detective Chimp's unique abilities have made him perfect for the team, and his cynical, hard-drinking, and smoking lifestyle has netted him a lot of fans. He has had a few stories where he was something of a star in team books, but has had very little chance for solo stardom. That needs to change. Detective Chimp is such an interesting and fun character. His adventures could take him all over the DC multiverse. The character is a superstar in the making if DC ever decides to pull the trigger and do right by Detective Chimp. 1. Big Barda should be the star of the Free family. Big Barda has super strength, invulnerability, super stamina, super reflexes, super agility, and immortality. Jack Kirby's New Gods saga has become an integral part of the DC multiverse. It introduced readers to a character that many consider the greatest DC villain of them all, Darkseid. But that's not all. The Fourth World also gave readers some brilliant heroes, with 3 standing above the rest: Orion, Mr. Miracle, and his wife Big Barda. DC fans love the couple of Mr. Miracle and Big Barda, but Miracle has always been the star of that family. However, it's time for Big Barda to shine. Barda is the problem solver of the Free family. Big Barda is an amazing warrior and has saved her husband's bacon many times. They make an excellent team, so splitting them wouldn't be fun. But letting Barda take the lead in one of their adventures would make a lot of fans happy. Big Barda has all the potential in the world, and she can reach that potential if she's given a starring role in her own book. So, there you have it, folks. 10 incredible supporting characters from DC Comics who could easily headline their own solo books. Their wit, strength, and unique skills would make for compelling stories that would captivate new readers and thrill longtime fans. These characters have proven they're more than just sidekicks. They're heroes in their own right, with compelling backstories and the potential to carry their own series. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll see them gracing the cover of their own comic, leading the charge and proving that sometimes the best heroes are the ones who have been waiting in the wings all along. What are your thoughts? Which character do you think deserves their own solo series the most? Leave a comment below and let's spark a conversation.